Oh wait, shit. Go back. You're muted. All right, let's I'm gonna go back to the beginning.
Take.
Okay. One.
Welcome to the 1v1 show. It's your boy Geo Huey Flow, welcoming you to the place all things niche, nerd, and pop culture. And we got a dope show for you today because we're going to talk about everything going on in this week's news of popular culture. And now, as always, here is my co-host, man behind the boards, Hypey Soul, aka Mikey.
Thank you. Okay. If you are new to the 1v1 show, and what we do here, how we conduct the show is by starting off with 10 topics from the news of this week regarding anime, J-pop, Kirby, and PSVR, and so much more. Each topic will have a timer of 5 minutes, with the last two topics just being a little bit longer. And after that, we'll be discussing our top 5, and this week it'll be our heroes in media. And we don't just end there. Finishing off today's episode will be our 1v1 showdown where Gio and I will take sides on a debate, and the debate today is, will content creators ever take over Hollywood? I don't know. Find out later. And if you like what we do here, give us a follow on our socials, IG, Twitter, and you can support us on Patreon where there's 3 tiers. $3 will get you a roll credit. $5 will let you submit any topic. $10 will you can sponsor us by plugging anything you want, as long as it's appropriate. And yeah, so we have a big announcement. Kind of.
We do.
I don't think we actually alluded to this previous weeks, but I think it's been in the works for maybe about a month ish. But this is my final episode on the 1v1 show. So all these graphics and stuff. I think I don't know if Gio is going to recreate it, but yeah. So yeah. But we're gonna do this show like normal, as usual, and yeah, and we'll talk about, I guess, my time on the show during the post show. So tune in for that.
Yeah, and then also just announcement. Since Mikey's leaving, it's gonna take me some time to really figure out some stuff. So we're gonna take a 2-week hiatus after today's show in order to really, or for me to really brainstorm what I want to do, where I want to take the direction of the show. We'll still cover a lot of the same pretty much general topics, but there will be some changes because I don't know how to do half the shit that Mikey knows how to do. So I'll be sure to bring a product. I don't know what it will be. I'll do my best, and we'll figure things out when they come along.
Yeah, basically the IP of 1v1 show is handing all Geos now.
So that means that it's just going to be nothing but waifus all day, all time.
And Nintendo.
Finally. Waifus. See, I'm already planning. See, already planning, already plotting.
Already recruiting an army of waifus.
Yep. There we go. All right.
All right, so let's start with the first topic of the day, which is, we've talked about this plenty of times, but what's going on with Activision, Gio?
So Activision got hit with another lawsuit, and honestly, I was trying to think of the headline for this and something like another lawsuit, but I feel like it would minimize just kind of the importance of these lawsuits. I didn't want to do that. But according to Bloomberg, the lawsuit was filed in LA. The LA County Superior Court on behalf of employees going by Jane Doe, so an anonymous person who's represented by attorney Lisa Bloom, and with 700 incidents under Bobby Kotick's watch. The lawsuit reads. So I'm gonna read some of the stuff that was going on. So Jane Doe began working at Activision in 2017 as a senior administrative assistant. And during an initiation lunch, she was pressured to take tequila shots and was told by leadership that she would need to tell all the employees at lunch an embarrassing secret. Also, she would often be pressured to drink alcohol, participate in cube crawls that saw women be subjected to sexual comments and groping, and play Jackbox where players had to suggest creative answers that would also be sexual in nature. When she began dressing more conservatively so she wouldn't be as prone to harassment and tried to speak out against many issues she was facing, she was told that it was just her leadership being nice and trying to be friends with her. The suit also alleges that she was told to keep those concerns to herself, as it could be damaging to her company. So, pretty fucked up shit. Me and you have worked at an establishment where it was not really that professional.
Yeah, not at all.
But I don't think anyone was ever pressured to take tequila shots while on the job, or having just things like this happening. And it's is it surprising? Not really, because we know that the video game industry has a frat boy like mentality
Yeah,
to
and
this
then
day.
the
Still.
gamer community and like they don't. Oh, I don't want to lump out all the gamer communities, but like there's a stereotype in the devs behind this company or like their employees don't really help that stereotype out. Like
Yeah.
that is not true. Like it just makes it so very what's the word I'm looking for? Like a little, no, not a little, pretty incelly.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a disgusting thing. And I hope this woman gets, you know, I hope she wins her suit and I hope she gets as much money as possible because of this. And yeah, that won't make up for kind of like the harassment that she's faced, but at least it'll punish those who, it'll punish this company for having that kind of BS going on. And, there's often the talk about because Microsoft is coming in and taking them over.
Mm.
And people, what's the word I'm looking for? People were complaining about, another big corporation taking over other soon all IPs are going to be under like two companies, blah 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 blah, which I get that argument, but I think Microsoft coming in at the end of the day just for the fact that it's new leadership and getting Bobby Kotick out, I think is a good thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. And like Buzz Kill Lightyear said, EA is better than Activision, and I actually agree with that. Like with their video games as well.
I mean, what has Activision made besides Call of Duty and like a random maybe like one random platformer like in the last like 4 years? Yeah, I don't think they've made anything.
I can't remember. I can't think on the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, at least EA has like, yeah, they're not the best, but they have the sports games. They have.
Oh, they have WoW. Duh, Blizzard.
WoW.
Blizzard Activision.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Activision. Duh.
That's how we know we're not PC gamers.
Wow. World of Warcraft hasn't really been that big of a deal in a while. In fact, from what I'm hearing, Final Fantasy 14 is like taking its like all of its lunch money. Like it's coming in and bullying WoW. Like people are leaving WoW and playing.
And also Tony Hawk. Oh yeah, that's I haven't.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But those are also remakes, like the Crash games, Tony Hawk, Spyro. It's not like they're making new versions of those games. Which, to be fair, maybe this is better because those games still are good, and the new like Tony Hawk and the new Crash games and new Spyro games weren't great. So I don't know.
And with the Warcraft, I think Final Fantasy is taking away some of its community, and same with the Lost Ark. I forget the title. Overwatch. Overwatch.
Yeah, but Overwatch is old. Like no one really plays Overwatch except Apex Predator. He's the only guy I know that plays Overwatch.
Yeah. But yeah, so I support this Jane Doe, and I hope, like you said, I hope she wins. They made Crash like 4 years ago. It was dope.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the new Crash. I heard it was good. I didn't play it because I am stuck in backlog hell.
Same.
But yeah. Anyways, moving on to our next topic. Tell me what's going on with Tekken. What are we getting? A new game, a new product? What's going on with that?
We are actually getting a brand new anime based on the game. Netflix has announced a new anime series. Wait, where's the clock? A new anime series based on the Tekken fighting games. It's called Tekken Bloodline. It will focus on the character of Jin Kazama, and it will launch this year in 2022. And in the trailer, it says, "Power is everything." Jin Kazama learned the family self-defense art, Kazama-style traditional martial arts, from his mother at an early age. Even so, he was powerless when a monstrous evil suddenly appeared, destroying everything dear to him, changing his life forever. Angry at himself for being unable to stop it, Jin vowed revenge and sought absolute power to extract it, and his quest will lead to the ultimate battle on a global stage, which is the king of the Iron Fist tournament. So based on this snippet, and what we can see from the trailer, the series seems to stick pretty closely to the established Tekken lore, where Jin trains with his mother, sees off some bullies, and he has to leave to flee an attack from the giant ogre. It then seeks his grandfather, Heihachi Mishima, for further training, and we also see brief glimpses of other iconic Tekken characters such as Paul Phoenix, Kazuya Mishima, and King. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for this because Netflix recognizes that this is probably the best fighting game to exist, so might as well capitalize on it by making it an anime. And I agree with them because Tekken
Have
is the best fighting game.
you
So what do you
have
think
you
about that? How do you
played?
play Tekken?
Yeah, I played them. I wasn't like super big into Tekken, but have you played them since the first one?
The first Tekken?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went up to Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag. Better. Tekken is just a worse version of Soul Calibur. You know, you had it opposite.
I was gonna say because one thing I do like about Tekken is in the first game, you play as Kazuya,
Hmm.
and he's like the main character, and then the second game is like, no, he's actually the bad guy. It's like,
Right.
oh, all the Mishimas are actually just kind of assholes. So, but yeah,
Tekken Tag is the goat. Yeah,
I
true.
I like Tekken. My favorite character to play as is Eddie Gordo because he's cheap as fuck.
Yeah, just press X circle and just do parkour, breakdancing. Not parkour, breakdance fighting, capoeira.
It's called Capoeira. I thought you
Mhm.
were an expert in fighting styles.
I just said it.
All right, whatever, Mikey. Anyways, I'm excited. This actually looks pretty dope.
Yeah, like as you know, I'm not really like an anime watcher, but I think I'll watch this because Tekken is my favorite fighting game, and this style that they're showing, like they're going with on Netflix, I like it a lot. And
Have
which
you?
adds to a bunch of adds to my backlog of animes to watch because I have a list of like 10 animes I needed to watch. But what were you gonna ask?
Have you seen the live action Tekken movie?
No, because I heard it sucked.
Honestly, yeah, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
Oh, you
Like,
watched it?
it was. Yeah, I've seen it. It was all right. It wasn't horrible, but you just gotta go with low expectations and be
Are you
like, yeah, this
familiar
is
with
what
the Tekken lore, or was that your first like?
I've
No, you played the
watched
games.
the movie and I've kind of read some things.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of it has to do with what's his name, Heihachi,
Mm-hmm.
basically trying to something about like the devil gene, and Heihachi doesn't have it, but Kazuya and Jin do.
Yeah. So it was does the
What?
movie follow that?
I don't know if I can't remember if the devil gene is in it,
Oh,
but the basic premise is with like basically Kazuya and Heihachi are like the main two villains of, and actually no, I think Kazuya is more of the villain, and he attacks
Hmm.
like Jin and his mom because his mom is training him, and then he wants to get revenge on his dad, but I don't think he knows that's his dad, and they join like the Iron King of the Iron Fist tournament,
Mm.
and he's fighting like all the, like Nina and Eddie Gordo and Yoshimitsu, and it's pretty good. Like I gotta say, I was entertained, and it somewhat follows the games from what I remember.
All right, and
Uh,
real quick, thanks for the follow, Tony707. And watching this trailer, it reminded me of actually I haven't seen the latest Mortal Kombat movie, but it reminded me of that. Like, give me that kind of vibe. Like, we're not going to see the actual tournament this season. I think it's all going to be just set up for the second season. And
okay.
I think
I
I'll
can
be
see that.
watching all that. But
Well, I hope it does good enough. If it's good, I hope it gets the second season because Netflix be canceling projects left and right.
true. All right, so
Anyway,
moving on from Tekken, but staying on the platform of PlayStation, what is going on with PlayStation, Geo?
okay, so we have been hearing about this rumor for about a while now,
Mhm.
codename Spartacus, and I was gonna wait until next week to talk about this, but since I'm gonna put the show on hiatus for 2 weeks, we might as well talk about it now, kind of get ahead of the story. PlayStation, according to Bloomberg, is going to reveal its Game Pass competitor, and it's gonna happen next week. So, like I said, it was under the codename Spartacus. The sources say it's going to have a splashy, whatever that means, the lineup of hit games that it will basically merge PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now, which is Sony's cloud streaming service. And they're going to have multiple plans with different tiers for the service, with each tier offering more and more games. So, the rumor is that the first tier will offer the same benefits as PlayStation Plus with online games and free monthly games. and then the next tier will include, I think it is PS3, PSP games. Then the final tier will include PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games.
Dang.
Also, it will include the ability to stream games and play extended demos. So, this could be exciting. I know there's a lot of old games that I want to play.
Yeah. Especially
That
Star Wars Jedi Power Battles on the PS1. I was like, dang, that's going to be in the final tier. They're weaponizing nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing with backwards compatibility is nowadays retro gaming is so expensive. I remember I had a talk with BTG Play about just BTG Play and Samtron 5000 and a couple others how retro gaming has gotten so expensive because now it's so easy on the internet to look at how rare a game is and then oh, this is going for $100 on eBay. I'm gonna put it for $100, but honestly, sometimes the thing that messes it up is that these markets can be easily inflated, and it just makes it super hard and unaffordable to buy retro games and play them. So it's irritating. It is very irritating.
Yeah,
But
I wonder how existing PS Plus members are going to be integrated. Like, because I'm assuming, like, what if their subscription goes past the date of this, when this gets implemented? Do these get transferred over? Like into ownership or something, or I don't know. I'm curious, but I specifically let my PS Plus subscription run out last month in anticipation for this. So hopefully, I won't miss out on any perks by not being a current PS Plus subscriber that gets converted into this.
what I'm
Spartacus.
assuming is going to happen is they're going to just transfer all PS Plus subscribers currently to the lowest tier of their new system. That is basically PS Plus plus some PlayStation Now stuff. So that's what I think. If I had to guess.
And oh yeah, I forgot to mention earlier that we're gonna be talking about the Halo show and Atlanta. But after watching the Halo show, I looked up Game Pass. I was like, you know what? I haven't played any of the Halo games. I should try to look it up. And then they had the Halo Master Chief Collection on Game Pass, and I was looking at the selection on Game Pass, dude. They have like all the classics for like Xbox games like Gears of War, Halo, and a bunch of other stuff I can't remember. But like I remember looking at the list of the Game Pass, I was like, yo, I could spend like a good 2-3 months just playing games off the Game Pass. And I hope the PlayStation Spartacus will have the same impact or like the same impression on me. And I don't know how their price is going to be like because the Xbox Game Pass, $1 for the first month and then $10 after that. Like plus you get online multiplayer along with that. It was like that's a really amazing deal.
Well, not only that, but not PlayStation, Xbox is actually because they've been doing Game Pass for a while now. They actually started to run out of backwards compatible games to put on their system. So they announced, I want to say maybe last year, they were like, yeah, we're kind of done with backwards compatibility because there aren't any other really big or mid-tier titles that we could put on Game Pass. So we're kind of done with backwards compatibility. But I think Sony in general just has way more content, so they could probably go through their back catalog for a lot longer than Xbox could. Because not only do they have a generation ahead of them, but that was kind of always the big issue with Xbox is the lack of IPs or lack of, original content on their system.
That's why I never got one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have Halo, Gears of War, and just a couple games here and there sprinkled, but they're always really seen as a third-party machine.
And so they'll announce it next week. When do you think it'll be implemented? This year?
I think it'll be this year, and I think they'll go for a holiday release with Spartacus.
Yeah, I can see it being implemented around the time PSVR, like maybe before PSVR 2 comes out. Ooh, I wonder if they will put PSVR games on this service, because with the new headset not having light tracking, I wonder how that's gonna, if they're even going to pursue that, or are just gonna completely forget the PSVR 1 catalog of games. I don't know, because that's why I'm keeping this one on hand. In case they don't offer backwards compatibility. But anyways,
Anyways, let's move on to the next story.
All right,
Tell
so
me
oh wait,
what's
this
up
week.
with the
Oh, my bad.
Batman.
I forgot that was a bad switch on my part. So this week, Matt Reeves released a deleted scene from a superhero movie. So spoilers for the Batman. And if you haven't seen Batman and you haven't been on the internet, or you might have seen the spoiler, we'll be talking spoilers for exactly 4 minutes and 40 seconds, and after that, we'll just stop immediately so you guys know when to come back when spoiler free or there's no spoilers. So starting now, spoilers. Matt Reeves released a deleted scene from a superhero movie, The Batman, and in this scene, it follows Batman's discovery that the Riddler has killed the Gotham City Police Commissioner, leaving behind another of his cryptic notes addressed to the Batman. Unnerved by the Riddler's interest in him, Batman decides to seek out insight into what makes the Riddler tick. And he said, Matt Reeves, I thought he would be really insecure about this, and he'd probably want to find some way to get into the Riddler's mindset, like in Manhunter or Mindhunter, starring the Hannibal Lecter character. This idea of profiling somebody so you can predict his next move. The filmmaker also liked the idea of suggesting to the audience that Gotham is rife with villains just on the edge of the story, and that actor Barry Keoghan Joker is one of the first enemies Batman captures. And in the scene, he says to Joker, almost our anniversary, isn't it? Joker tells Batman. And Reeves said, you realize that they have a relationship, that this guy obviously did something, and Batman somehow got him into Arkham in his first year of being Batman, I think, right? Like, because I'm assuming it's implied that this is Batman's second year of being Batman, right?
Year 2, yeah.
And Batman pushes Joker for a reason why Riddler is doing what he's doing and why he's leaving notes for Batman at all of his crimes. And the Joker says, maybe he's a fan of yours. Or maybe he's got a grudge against you, too. Or maybe you're the main course. And the scene crescendos with Joker taunting Batman with the unsettling truth that there's a part of him that agrees with Riddler's decision to dispatch Gotham's leaders who are covered in corruption. And the Joker says, I think somewhere deep down, you're just terrified because you're not sure he's wrong. And you think they deserve it. And I was like, whoa. And in his earlier interview, Matt Reeves, the director, went far more in depth into why he deleted the scene, but kept a follow-up scene in the post-credits of The Batman, in which Joker and Riddler talk to each other in adjacent prison cells at the Arkham State Hospital. And so we finally saw this short deleted scene with subtitles. What do you think? Because the first time I didn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah, no, I was having trouble understanding what he was saying too. And I think one thing, Matt Reeves in another interview has basically said that this isn't the Joker that was pushed into the vat of acid. That's like his common backstory, which leads me to ask, like, so how did he get so messed up looking? Because according to Matt Reeves, this Joker is basically born with like a disease where he like can't stop laughing, and he's always had like that smile on his face. So I think it would be interesting to go back and see kind of how the Joker became or is becoming the Joker, essentially. Like where is he coming from? So I'm very excited for this. As far as his performance, I think you when we were rewatching the scene, you said that he sounds like a version of Heath Ledger's Joker, and I could very much see that inspiration.
Yeah, when we first started, I thought it was straight up like Two-Face, even though he was talking and saying stuff like the Joker would say. But I saw the side of his face, and he had that weird smile that Two-Face has on the side of his face, and I was like, "Yo, wait, that's totally Two-Face!" Like he has that like deformed smile, and then he told me, and the internet said it was a Joker. I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe I was tripping. I didn't see that then." But then in this trailer, it clearly had like his face was chemically burned and kind of looked like Two-Face in my opinion.
Yeah, and but also like you look at the back of his head in this scene, and like you see like it's like these like got pieces of like his hair ripped out, and he looks just messed up all throughout. Like I think because Matt Reeves has said he's like, I'm not sure, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the Joker, but I would like to see the Joker fully like coming into the light and seeing a good look at him, because I think that'd be intriguing what they actually do with this guy.
Yeah, and this Joker seems like it would be like he looks like it's like a version of Heath Ledger's Joker, like 2 years while like in jail and just been demented. But yeah, the spoilers are wrapping up. Last 5 seconds. So yeah, what do you? Last question. Do you think it was a good idea that he took it out of the movie or no?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I agree because it brings more of an intrigue to the character that was mentioned. All right, so going away from spoilers of the Batman and into the world of Grand Theft Auto, what's happening there, Gio?
Man, like, okay, so this to me, this is kind of some BS, right? I don't play GTA. I don't play GTA 5, right? But it's a 9-year-old game, and now Rockstar's announced GTA Plus, which is a subscription service for Grand Theft Auto Online that will only be available for the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S versions of the game. It will launch March 29th. It's going to be $5.99 a month, and it will provide players with a recurring bank deposit of $500,000, ensuring players will have plenty of cash to spend in the open world. There'll also be members-only bonuses like properties, vehicles, upgrades, discounts, and also mentions that you have the ability to unlock gameplay updates that you may have missed on, but previously time-limited content that can be accessed with GTA 5. Sounds like some bullshit to me. Like, if I'm going to be honest with you, because this is already an older game, and them saying like, hey, for $6 a month, we can give you cash to spend, $500,000 a month, and then special cars and stuff that you may have missed out on that is timed content. And it's just basically paid. It's just basically more microtransactions in this game. And wasn't GTA Online previously completely free?
Well, not completely free. Like you could buy cars and stuff and like that and like cash money, but for the most part, you could play it for free. Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it seems like this is just Take-Two, Rockstar, just being greedy.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's very interesting that they're coming out with this 9 years into the game and how long GTA Online's been a thing, and they're just now implementing this. It feels a little bit too late, but the demand is there, as you know. Because to be honest, when they re-released Grand Theft Auto for PS5 and they're selling for $10, I was like, man, I bought it because in anticipation for the PSVR 2 implementation.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't have to buy a different version of that. But yeah, I think when they did that, a lot of people bought it, and it shows that there's still interest in Grand Theft Auto Online. And yeah, I think it will actually be successful. Unfortunately,
I mean, how do I say this? People are stupid. Like, don't support this. And I know the argument is, well, if I like it, if I like the content, I can do with my money as I please, which is, it's true. But at the same day, you're giving these developers, these publishers, kind of reason to just continue taking the video game industry into this direction. And so people out there who support this GTA Plus, you are actively screwing yourself and the rest of the industry, the consumers. You are doing a bad thing. You are being an idiot and irresponsible. I'm going to say this right now. I'm telling you what to do with your money, because just like parents do with their children, if I don't keep this money for you, you're going to do something dumb with it. Don't buy this GTA Plus. Don't give Rockstar and Take-Two the numbers to see, this is what people want. What we should do is we should stop playing GTA until they give us GTA 6. Because if not, we're going to get GTA 5 for another 5 years.
yeah, it's like
Yeah, but Nendroids, I know what I'm paying for as far as the product. It's not like I'm buying a Nendroid and like, hey, for $5.99 a month, like, we're gonna give you an additional accessory every month that's unlimited and timed exclusive. This is completely different. This is completely different. So don't come at me, chill. Anyways.
And speaking of, while we're on the topic of GTA, did you see the GTA 6 leak where it suggests it'll take place where is this? In Europe, in London.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so like, I wonder like they're preparing. I wonder how the economy, like the online economy, and like how GTA 6 is gonna work with this GTA Plus in mind. Like I wonder how like I think it's gonna be a completely different like type of GTA when that comes out because I'm assuming this is going to be like their moneymaker GTA Plus, and this is where they're gonna like with all other games, they're gonna focus on the online aspect for the microtransactions. Pirate Rockstar Games pirating from Corpus is morally right, says Zombie Bait.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
one, it's interesting they're going back to London. That's where GTA started. That was its roots. But second of all, this is probably them just trying to like market test this so they can implement it into GTA 6 Online. So it's
Yeah.
irritating. Whatever. Anyways, let's move forward. What's what's scary? I don't know what's scarier than microtransactions, but why don't you go ahead and tell me what's up with the horror genre right now?
All right. So one of my favorite directors currently, Alex Garland, is back with a new horror movie called Men. The movie's new trailer was released this Wednesday, and while it gives us a few more clues about the movie than the previous teaser that was released a month ago, it still leaves too many more questions than answers. And we'll probably have to wait until Men is released in theaters in May 20th to find out what exactly is going on. So this movie stars Jessie Buckley, who is from The Lost Daughter. I have not familiar with her work, or I haven't seen that, and she stars as a woman who moves into an estate on the English countryside to help look after the place. Of course, things get really weird as soon as he arrives, as she begins to feel that she's being haunted, maybe by the ghost of her husband who mysteriously killed himself. Meanwhile, all the men around her in this small town all just seem to harbor some kind of secret. But yeah, other than that, the trailer doesn't really give much plot at all. Instead, it
No.
gives us plenty of creepy shots of lavish homes, apple trees, and the actor Rory Kinnear, which is yeah. Watching this trailer give me like the heebie-jeebie vibes. Like it was very uncomfortable. Like watching that, it's like okay, I felt like it was I feel like it might be like a social commentary on like creepermen
Yeah, and
along with like
also
horror.
there's got to be an allegory here with like Adam and Eve because of the apple trees. There's
Yeah.
got to be.
hmm And for those who don't know who Alex Garland, he also directed one of my favorite sci-fi movies. Both of them are my top 10, which is Ex Machina and Annihilation, starring Natalie Portman. And
Both good movies.
yeah, I highly
Both great.
recommend them if you are into the sci-fi genre. And will you be watching this?
Oh yeah. I mean, you want to watch this in theaters?
Yes, it seems like one of those things, like you have that theater experience that has that little collective, like oh god, it feels weird. And yeah,
Yeah.
it is interesting. Like I don't think there's not really any sci-fi aspect to this movie like his previous two. It's more like seems like more of like a paranormal than sci-fi ish.
Yeah, that is true. There doesn't seem to be any sci-fi at all, and maybe he's pulling a fast one with us, and there'll be something. But Alex Garland has earned my trust. The last two movies, Annihilation and Ex Machina, like you said, are fantastic films, and some of my favorites as well. And until he gives me a bad product, I'm gonna watch his movies.
Yeah, and if he delivers on this third movie, I would put him in my like top 5 directors of all time. 'Cause,
Really?
yeah, because the first Ex Machina, I was like, I did not know what to expect with that, and that became instantly like one of my favorite sci-fi movies. And then I was like, okay, and then Annihilation came out. I was like, I wasn't really feeling like watching that, but when we saw that together in theaters, I think,
Yeah.
and yeah, I didn't know what to expect with that movie, and it blew my mind. And I was like, okay, this guy knows what's up, and he's also written for other directors. He's written a movie called uh oh dang, I had it in my head. It stars um Andrew Garfield, Carey Mulligan, and Keira Knightley. And it was one of my favorite also sci-fi movies. Like I'll put that in my top 20, I would say. And
I have his I have
that's
his
fine.
I have his Wikipedia up. So he wrote 28 Days Later.
Great movie.
He also wrote a movie called Sunshine, which I've never heard of.
Oh, great sci-fi movie that falls apart in the last 30 minutes. I highly recommend it. That movie made me think. I was like, oh, Chris Evans can act.
He also did he wrote
Never Let Me Go. 2010 movie. That was my favorite movie of 2010. It was Never Let Me Go, and that movie shows off Andrew Garfield's acting chops, and I was like, okay, this guy will definitely win an Oscar. He was nominated for that war movie that he did, and I think he'll eventually get it one day because he phenomenal actor, Andrew Garfield.
He also wrote Dread, which interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, his concepts for these movies are so interesting and intriguing, and it ticks off all of my boxes.
He also co-wrote this game called Enslaved: Odyssey to the West, which I actually played, and I didn't beat it, but it was I don't know why I didn't finish it. I think another game came out, and I was just playing this kind of in the meantimes. But it was a good game from what I recommend, and the story was pretty interesting. Maybe I'll go back and play that one day.
Yeah, and so I'm excited for this movie. It comes out May 20th, and we'll be watching that in theaters. So moving on from that, from the world of horror into the world of J-pop, which I'm not too familiar with, but I think you are, Gio. Why don't you tell us what's going on with J-pop?
You know, when we did our doing the that transition of going from the world of horror to the world of J-pop, Perfect Blue is actually a combination of both of those things.
Oh, that was the movie I need to watch.
You need to watch Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue is a movie I think that everyone needs to watch. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that movie I've read has inspired so many filmmakers and throughout the works, and especially Darren Aronofsky. I think he mirrored it with that drug movie.
Black Swan.
No, that one and the one before it with the Jared Leto. Why am I blinking out?
What movie was that with Jared Leto?
Or he's like a hold on. It's a very depressing movie. Why can't I think of it? Requiem for a Dream. Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, right. Okay, yes. I haven't seen that movie. I heard it's phenomenal.
Very depressing. I've only watched it twice. One was like, dang, that made me feel bad, and then I was like, okay, and then I watched it again to analyze it. I was like, oh man, I don't think that takes a lot out of you. It reminds me of another Darren Aronofsky movie called Mother.
Yo, Mother was a trip to watch.
Yeah, and so it's Requiem for I've only seen Mother once, and I remember everything because the impression that movie left on me. Whew.
Anyways, so going back to Lisa, right? So Lisa, if you don't know who she is, she's one of the top idols in Japan. Most people would know her for doing the theme song from the first season of Demon Slayer, and it became a huge hit. It's called Guren, which I actually bumped that in the car. Still, it's a great song. And Lisa also did the song for other animes. She did one of the themes for Sword Art Online. Pretty much any time that you see that Lisa is doing an anime opening, you know that there's a banger. Zombie Bait says, any chance to talk about Lisa, huh? Actually, shut up. Shut your fucking face.
It's actually the first time I'm hearing about her.
Yeah, so shut up, Zombie Bait. Anyways, so they're going to make a documentary about her. It's going to be on Netflix, and it's to show the 10th anniversary project of last year. So I'm going to read kind of the description that they posted up. The documentary explores the true face of Lisa, a popular Japanese singer well known in Japan, as well as abroad for her numerous hit songs such as the theme of Demon Slayer. Lisa has always been very humble but also unbending. She has been confronted with the various realities and made many mistakes in life. Later on, the little girl who started a band because of her admiration for Avril Lavigne becomes one of Japan's leading artists as she celebrates her 10th year in 2021. With the help of her team, she has dedicated herself to producing the artist Lisa and has realized her dream of being a rock star. What dreams will her and her team pursue next? So, they basically say we're going to explore the true face of Lisa as she creates music, performs, and tries to make every new day another great day. This kind of reminds me of the Taylor Swift documentaries.
Oh, you watched those?
So, I actually did watch one of them because I made a deal with a friend of mine, Savannah, who is a big Taylor Swift fan, and she's basically like, I lost a bet, and I had to basically take her to watch a movie, but stuff happened in life, and she ended up moving away. So she was like, "All right, if you watch this with me, like, if you watch this with me, then I'll that'll be your pay. You're paid for your lost bet." So like, all right. So I watched it and it wasn't bad. I mean, there's a bunch of other things I would rather be doing with my time, but it was well produced. But in my opinion, I think Lisa's a way better artist than Taylor Swift. So I probably will be checking this out because I really like her music. Gren is still one of my favorite songs in animes in the last year. So yeah. Also, I wonder if they're going because there was some drama with her a few years ago. Or no, last year. Her husband cheated on her. And
Dang.
so it became a big thing. Apparently she has like forgiven him, which honestly, like man, you go find yourself a man who won't cheat on with you, Lisa. You are a queen. A queen. This is voice actor who's
Like
going
this guy.
around. You don't deserve that, Lisa. You don't have to do this.
You're such a
Anyway.
simp, dude.
Shut up. Shut your fucking face. Anyways, let's move on. Going on from J-pop to the NFL. You know what? I think Lisa should do the halftime show. That's my transition.
Okay. Well, anyways, so this week, the National Football League (NFL) on Wednesday signed a deal to work with sports technology company Status Pro to create a new annualized VR game to Meta Quest headset and Sony's PSVR 2. The new game will provide a first-person experience, allowing fans to play the game through the eyes of characters on the virtual field. The two companies did not reveal the game's title and its projected to release or the projected release or the price, but they did say that they plan to create an authentic extended reality experience. Players will see digital football players superimposed in front of them as they practice various maneuvers. The companies believe that this athlete-led technology will help make their future VR games that much more immersive. VR gaming is rapidly expanding, and our partnership with Status Pro allows us to explore a new immersive version of NFL gaming with support of the two largest VR platforms within this emerging space. And those efforts may be a welcome addition from Madden NFL fans because they have been complaining for years about the lack of innovation in the Madden games. And GameSpot's one of the writers from GameSpot noted that the fan criticism of last year's Madden game, adding that the new tweaked Face of the Franchise story mode, where players create their own character and manage their career, did not offer enough depth or incentive to devote a lot of playtime to. So I'm really excited for this because the best football game ever is still NFL 2K5, and that's before, and it did better than Madden, and EA got butthurt and bought exclusive rights, NFL rights, pretty much killing the 2K football franchise. And yeah, and in the 2K5 had first person, as you can see the screenshots, and it was so cool because I was playing as Patrick Willis, and it was pretty cool to see, and I'm excited to see how it goes into VR, and I feel like it's gonna be really intense.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like it could get me sick.
Probably. I still never played a VR game, so I don't know how I'd react to this VR sickness. So,
But for the PSVR version, they have Rumble in their headsets, so it's like I wonder how, like that with the haptic feedback, is going to like work with tackles. Like when you get tackled, are you gonna feel the rumble? But I mean, you have to. But like,
yeah,
I wonder how that's gonna like feel when you're in the game.
probably from the direction where you hit, you'll probably only feel the rumble in like one side of your head.
Mhm.
What if they could do that?
And also, it is also really really interesting because PSVR did not have like an annual like release game, and this will be the first game on the PSVR platform, both PSVR 1 and PSVR 2, where there'll be like an annual yearly, like I don't know, it's the same thing. release for the game. So I'm excited to see where this goes. And as you guys know, I've been really like hyped up on VR, especially with the PSVR gaming. Just in yeah, I'm gonna probably buy this. Probably I don't know about day one, but like maybe month one.
I'll tell you one thing, Mikey. No amount of virtual reality technology will allow you to feel what it's like for the Vegas Raiders to win a championship. It's just not possible.
Yeah, and then I wonder how it would work for like anyone else that's for any position that's not a quarterback. Because I can see wearing the headset and using the controllers, we can just throw the ball like football. That's gonna be really fun playing quarterback. But running back or like wide receiver, uh, I'm very curious to see how that's gonna work. Shut your or mouth, Geo. Says Buzzkill Lightyear.
Good times for
So,
me.
what
But
position
yeah,
would you play in VR if you were like to jump on this?
I want to be a linebacker.
Hmm.
I mean, QB is probably everyone's answer, but it'd be fun to chase down people and tackle them.
Yeah, same. And it really was. That was my favorite position to play on NFL 2K5. And
And I've never played the NFL 2K games.
dude, yeah, you missed out because all the Madden games suck, and I refuse to play a Madden game since I don't know when was it? When after the 49ers won the Super Bowl, that's the last Madden game I bought because the ratings were really good. Have you played Madden games or no?
Fair enough. No, not really. I'm not a sports game type person. Like
Which is weird
sports
because like
Sims.
you're such a big sports fan.
Yeah, that's true. But like, I don't know. It just I don't want to pay $70 to play the same game every year. So it is what it is.
But I think I know what game you would pay for. That would
What?
cost $70. I think this game about a pink version of a Snorlax called Kirby.
Hell
What's
yeah,
going
let's
on with that,
go.
Gio?
Let's go. Oh, actually, for your information, this game is only $60 because Nintendo Switch games haven't reached $70 yet, and hopefully they never will. But the greatest game of the year has come out. The reviews are coming out. Let's do a quick review roundup. This game actually came out yesterday, but because of stuff, I wasn't able to buy it, so I'm gonna buy it today, probably after the show. I'm gonna go run and go grab a copy of Kirby. Uh, anyways, so the review roundup currently has an 85 on Metacritic, and reviews have gone live, and the reception so far has been positive. Uh, so let's look at some reviews. GameSpot said 9 out of 10. They said Kirby in the Forgotten Land is one of those games that is hard to play without constantly having a silly smile on your face. It's far more than just a cute and charming platformer with color visuals, though. This is one of the best platformers on Nintendo Switch, thanks to its brilliantly designed stages and dynamic arsenal of abilities that constantly shake up the moment-to-moment platforming and action. And Frankenstein Kirby, if you're reading this review, please don't eat me. I don't have any cool powers anyway. Destructoid gave it a 9.5 out of 10, saying, I'm an easy sell when it comes to Kirby, but The Forgotten Land is easily one of my favorite entries in the series and possibly my top game outside of Kirby Superstar, an all-time classic. I came in expecting a very, very serviceable Kirby adventure and got a lot more with those that are straightforward and effortless virtues that past games have commanded. And the last review I'm going to read, Games Radar, 4.5 out of 5. Kirby's latest adventure is an absolute treat, one that you won't want to miss, with an open platforming and eye-grabbing 3D world and gorgeous helping of fantastic features of Waddle Dee Town and the introduction of mouthful mode. Kirby in the Forgotten Land offers up a memorable experience that will undoubtedly make you smile. Yes, let's go. This is what I want to hear. Like this is basically was one of my most anticipated games of the year. I think the only game that I'm anticipating more is Breath of the Wild 2. But this just seems like it's pretty much a new ceiling for Kirby, because even though some of the old platformer games were good, I think we've reached a point to where we're like, there's a lot of platforming games and we want to see Kirby try to do more, and bringing him into 3D. The game looks gorgeous. I've heard that it on a what's it called? The OLED model of the Switch. It looks fantastic. But yeah, Gio is such a big fan. He hasn't bought the game. I'm sorry, I have real life things going on. My name is Earl. All right, so kindly step off, but I'm gonna go buy it today, and I don't think I'm gonna do anything other than play Kirby this weekend. So I'm excited for that.
Wait, but aren't you still playing
But-
other games?
Oh, I just rolled credits on Pokemon today
Oh, okay.
or yesterday.
Oh,
I was trying to.
quick thoughts on that. How was that?
Actually, it was pretty good. There's a post game apparently, but from what I heard from other people is that it's just basically one big collectathon.
Mm.
So I think I'm going to, just come back to that. But I very much enjoyed Pokemon Arceus. I think it's the best Pokemon game in a long time, and my team is stacked.
How many
I
hours
got a
did you put in
Snorlax.
to that?
I think it was like a 35-hour game.
Oh, not bad at all. And
Yeah, and there's probably a lot more because I haven't even come to close to like getting all the Pokemon, and each Pokemon has like a research task, like capture 5 of them, capture them without getting caught, feed them food and then capture them, see them use this move 5 times, stuff like that. So, yeah. I'm excited for Kirby.
Zombie Bait in the chat says, I will never pay $70 for a Switch game. And my name is Earl says, Zombie Bait would buy a Switch game for $80 if it had PS1 graphics. How about you? What's the most you would pay for a brand new release Switch game?
Well, for the Switch currently, honestly, anything more than $60, I think is like a yikes.
What if,
So I'm gonna say
what if Kirby was $70?
Oh, I think I'd wait for a sale.
Wow. Okay.
Or something. I don't think Nintendo can get away with selling their games for $70 simply because the PS5 and Xbox Series One X, Series X, whatever it is, those games, I mean, they're on more powerful consoles and they can do so much more graphically.
True.
Kind of makes sense for them to charge a little bit more. So Nintendo doing that, people would be like, no, we're not dealing with this. But yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, speaking of more powerful consoles, Mikey, what's the latest news on PSVR 2?
All right. So, hold on.
Bobby Freshen says, I run late. Can y'all start over? Shut up, boy. You can watch the VOD.
So, there's a lot of news about the PSVR 2. Well, not news, more like hype from this week's GDC, the Game Developers Conference, where Sony is showcasing its new hardware in private to industry professionals. And Chet Falizek, a Valve veteran who has worked on Portal and Left 4 Dead, described the tech demo as he was treated to as so good. You know where the world just feels different when you return? That's how he felt. And since a developer at True and Pixel, which is making a PSVR 2 motorcycle game that was pretty much like Road Rash, he weighed in on the hardware, saying, praising it, and one of the posters in that forum called his description hyperbolic, and he denied that. He said, Sony has been extremely deliberate with a lot of their choices about this thing. He said, thanks for the follow, Bobby Fresh. And Sony has been extremely deliberate with a lot of their choices about this thing, and they've been reading the room for a long time now. And while developers are under NDA, the dev added, performance and immersion goes beyond resolution. The numbers certainly matter, but the whole is definitely greater than the sum. And now, PSVR 2 has some of the best specs in regards to like VR on the market already. But the creator who has had first-hand experience with the headset pointed some of its other features like haptic feedback. And he said, haptics make a bigger impact than you realize. Think about the first time you experienced DualSense. Now consider it in the context of VR. PSVR 2's Sense controllers include all the functionality of the DualSense controllers and more, including adaptive triggers and even rudimentary finger tracking. I'm so excited for that. And he continued, stop sweating about the wire, because the PSVR headset will have one wire connected to it, and that's because they want to have direct processing power straight to the headset instead of like wireless, and I support that. And he said, back to what he was saying, stop sweating about the wire. It'll disappear once you start playing, unless you're just spinning in circles constantly or something. And as for the lack of gameplay or videos about this PSVR 2, the dev said, or pointed out, like, it should be clear that by now, off-screen footage of VR is never representative of the experience of VR, which often is unfairly scrutinized by gamers who are already very skeptical and jaded. I say this from experience. VR already has enough to prove to people, and so unfinished builds with incomplete assets or performance would not be in anyone's best interest. So, if the dev from Portal and Left 4 Dead is saying, like, praising PSVR 2 like that, I am so hyped. Are you getting this, Gio? Or are you planning on getting this?
I think PSVR 2 is where I hop in.
Yeah, I think this will be the holiday purchase, assuming it comes out before the holidays this year. Like how the Oculus Quest was like the big popular purchase for gamers last year.
So if this comes out this year, when do we hear about it? E3? Maybe they do their own thing in like July or August. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right because if for those who remember back when PSVR was first announced or not the price, it was during the Gamer Developers Conference. I don't know when PSVR released exactly, but like they announced the price and it was the same price as the PS4, and then so it was $399. So I'm assuming that I hope they keep a similar price point for the PSVR 2, but it's like we said in the article, is literally the best headset in the VR market currently. So if it's, I hope it's not more than $499, the same price of a PS5.
I don't think this comes out this year.
Really?
Yeah, I think the chip shortage and all those other issues that they're having in the world, I think it's going to push this back till 2023.
Oh man, that would suck because I have to wait longer. But yeah, like if I'm really like looking forward to seeing how the haptics are going to be implemented, like especially the headset, like, and that's supposed to mitigate the motion sickness that people have with VR. Because I'm pretty sensitive to VR actually. Because hold on, let me get this. I have to eat like 2 of these, which is like a motion sickness like candy, like ginger candy, which helps with the motion sickness when I play VR. And hopefully with the Rumble, it will take away that sickness and will be more immersive. So I'm very excited, especially with the NFL game coming out. But yeah. So I'm most likely, whether it comes out this holiday or next year, I will be getting that day one whenever it comes available. All right. So, we do top 5, right? For our next segment.
Yes.
All right. So, we are going to be. I forgot how we transitioned into this. My bad. But we're going to be discussing our top 5 heroes in media, and I will start. Well, let me get to my list here. And let us know if you guys agree or disagree or not. But yeah, so my first favorite hero in media would be Batman Beyond, aka Terry McGinnis, because while the Batman animated series, I did watch that. I got into that very late, and then once I started I'm gonna start watching Batman animated series, and then it ended, and they announced Batman Beyond. I was like, oh, I can start from the ground, and with Batman Beyond, and I guess that was my first full experience with like Batman, and it was amazing. And I want a Batman Beyond movie, but I don't know how it can be executed. I don't think there'll be a good Batman Beyond movie if they ever do it. But
what if it was directed by the guy who did the new Blade Runner?
Oh, Dennis Bell. Interesting. But the Batman Beyond suit, I don't know how they can replicate that look because it only works in animation. Because with his face and his whole head, you don't see his chin at all. His whole it's all a costume. You don't see his skin.
Yeah, that's true. How would they replicate that? It would have to be a CG suit, no?
Yeah, I would think so. But yeah, so that is my number or yeah, my number 5 favorite hero in media, and because Batman Beyond, and also because it has that cyberpunk sci-fi feel, and he's like basically uh Spider-Man plus sci-fi setting or cyberpunk setting plus Batman equals Batman Beyond, in my opinion. That's what it felt like to me, and I enjoyed that show so much. All right, what is your number 5, Gio?
My number 5 is Akane Kurashiki. If
Who's
you
that?
don't know that name, she is a character in the video game called 999. And I love Akane as a heroine, a hero, because she is someone who does things that might seem ridiculous or even shady, but she does it all in the pursuit of the greater good. And she is not someone that is she is someone who is willing to sacrifice her joy and her happiness in order to make sure that everyone else like survives or the world is better. And I think that she's also a misunderstood character. She's very much the tragic hero that goes through a whole lot of stuff and doesn't necessarily get the thanks that she gets. So Akane, one of my favorite characters, probably one of my favorite heroines ever. um and it's funny because the writer of the game that she's in has basically said, I tried to write the worst heroine possible, but I think he may have written one of the best. I love Akane. She's one of my favorite characters.
Hmm. Okay. Wait, what show is she from?
999. She's from a
Hmm.
game.
Okay. I don't think. Oh, I ever played it. Sorry. But all right. So my number 4 is a classic, Indiana Jones, because it's Indiana, like the first that trilogy. I grew up watching those trilogy, and it was really cool. Like the first one, Temple. Wait, which one's Temple of Doom? Is the first one or second one?
What's that?
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom was the second one.
Yeah, like that's my favorite Indiana Jones, and yeah, and he is the inspiration for a lot of characters that we know of today, such as Nathan Drake from Uncharted, and maybe and Tomb Raider as well, and yeah, and so pretty much like I just enjoy his stories, his lore, and the way he conducts himself. Like, oh, you got a huge ass machete, you're gonna be flashing around. Well, I got a gun, and yeah, he's very cool. Like Harrison Ford playing him made it even cooler because that's Han Solo. And yeah, so that is my number 4, Indiana Jones. He is the inspiration for many iconic characters that we know and love today.
True, true, true.
All right, what is yours? Number 4.
My number 4. Also someone that you might not have heard of. His name is Sakuta Asasagawa from Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, which many of you know that is one of my favorite animes of all time. Got Shoko and Mai right there. But Sakuta is the main character of the show. He is, by all intents and purposes, probably the best main character in any like romance anime, in my opinion, because he's not super try-hardy. He's not really what's the word I'm looking for? Super cringy. He's just a guy, and he may seem very aloof and kind of, not caring about anything, but he's just someone that just is kind of maybe a little cynical, maybe tired of all the politicking when it comes to high school. He's just very blunt, and he doesn't care what people really think of him as long as the people that he trusts, got his back. And he's always doing things for other people who are going through their issues, not really caring about what happens to him. He's very selfless, but I think also he's very someone that tells the hard truth at times. And he can be a little stubborn, and sometimes he also needs to be correcting. But I think he's one of, if not the best main character in animes around. And yeah, awesome. I love the anime. Anyone who disagrees is wrong. Subjectively, objectively wrong. Anyways, moving on.
Sami Bait in chat says his favorite heroes in media are Superman, Spider-Man, Edward Elric, Saber, Artoria, Pendragon, and Miracle Man. I don't know those last 3 or 2. Do you?
I know all of them except what? Okay, not Miracle Man. That's not Scott Free. Hold on, I know that name. Miracle Man is. because that's Mr. Miracle. I always get these two confused. Miracle Man is where is he from?
In anime.
No, he's not anime. He's a superhero. Why did it bring me to some like speaker from where? No, that's Marvel Man. I know who Miracle Man
No,
is.
Miracle Man by Alan Moore. Duh.
Miracle Man, Alan Moore. Oh, okay. I have seen this character, but I've never read about them. I think Zombie Bait's the one who put me on to Miracle Man. Like I think I heard of him before, but I didn't know how great he was or like how much like clout there is before Zombie Bait told him about
If
me.
I had to take a
told him
guess,
about me.
I think he's a dude who performs miracles. But
Anyways,
so moving on to my number 3. I mean, it's not like a character, but at the same time, he kind of is. He's the man, the myth, the legend, Bruce Lee. I've seen all of his movies, and yeah, very inspiring. I think he's the reason why I like martial arts movies so much, and why I'm a big fan of MMA, because he's pretty much like the grandfather of MMA with his style Jeet Kune Do, which is incorporates all or like a couple of martial arts styles into one. And so like I would say technically he would be like the first MMA fighter, pretty much.
yeah, because wasn't like martial arts before Bruce Lee more about like form and technique?
Yeah, very traditional.
then-
Like, and each of them had their own like ways of honoring their martial art.
Right.
And he
then-
took the best bits of each one and combined them into one, and made Jeet Kune Do. And yeah.
right.
And also, fun fact, he's a
I
cha-cha
still-
champion.
No, interesting. I've never seen the movie that he never finished, but they put it out anyways. It was a Game of Death.
What, dude? That's probably my favorite of his.
Really,
Yeah,
with where he's fighting
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that might have been the first Bruce Lee movie I've seen, and that scene with Kareem probably
Yeah.
like cemented in my mind. Like, whoa, what the heck? And then the way Bruce Lee fought that dude, and all the other people in that movie were so interesting because they all brought different things to the table, and he answered them with such poise and like so dope. Anyways, so
Jamie never finished it. Like we don't get his completed vision.
yeah, and it sucks that he's not with us today because I think he would be a fan of MMA, and I would like to
Yeah.
hear his thoughts, on like today's modern arts culture. But
I think too that would have been dope.
yeah. So moving on, what's your number 3? Gio?
Samus Aran is my number 3. Samus Aran from Metroid. If you ever get a chance, I would highly recommend reading the manga backstory of Metroid
Mhm.
because Samus goes through so much stuff. Her like parents get murdered by the space pirates, specifically by Ridley. She is traumatized by that big dinosaur, ugly-looking motherfucker. And she gets raised by a group of bird people to basically be this like mercenary killer. And then she works for this federation, has to deal with Metroids, and just all the time she's very stoic, very calm, collective. But Samus is badass. She is just the most badass character ever, really.
Yeah, I've always
I
wanted to
would
play her
say-
games. I've never played any of the Metroid games.
Highly recommend. I mean, they're supposedly gonna remake Metroid Prime, the first one. So if they do that, I'll hopefully I'll get my second Switch by then, and you can borrow it.
Okay. And wait, how do you say the last name? Is it Aaron or Iran?
I think it's Samus. I think it goes either way. I don't think anyone has ever said what's the proper way to say it. Samus Aran, Samus Aran. I think it's Aaron.
And Buzzkill Light, you're coming in with the fun facts. She addresses in the first one.
Oh yeah, if in the first game, if you complete the game, I think it's under like 12 minutes. Like Samus's suit, like basically like It's like her in a red bikini, and it's like kind of like an Easter egg of like you find out. That's how you find out that Samus is a woman, because it doesn't say anything. Or actually, even in the manual, they describe Samus as a he.
Mm.
And if you beat the game in under like I think it's like 12 or 15 minutes, like then it's like, oh, it's actually a woman.
Oh,
And
so
it's
they
like,
reward the gamers by stripping her down.
yeah, the 80s were a different time, man.
Yeah, and Metroid is another Nintendo title I think would be amazing in VR if Nintendo were to ever pursue VR.
I think Nintendo is scared of VR because of the Virtual Boy.
But they got the, I think they could do it. But anyways, so I'm going to agree with Zombie Bait's second hero that he mentioned, and that is Spider-Man. I've been a Spider-Man fan my entire life. I sort of had a picture of me going to a Spider-Man museum at the Academy of Sciences in San Francisco, where I met Spider-Man or like some dude dressed as him. And yeah, and the anime series, the movies, I love every single one, even the Garfield movies before No Way Home came out, which made everyone love the Garfield movies again, or like for the first time again. I don't know. Started appreciating those movies. But yeah, Spider-Man, I'm very, very excited for the next trilogy of movies. And yeah. What are your thoughts on Spider-Man, real quick?
I like Spider-Man. I like the animated series. I love the original movies. Um, I love. I've never seen Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I did think that the first Amazing Spider-Man was good. It was all right. It was good. And I really like the Tom Holland movies. So
Yeah, and
and Spider-Man.
and I don't know if I mentioned this during our review of No Way Home, but yeah, that movie made me cry because damn, I did not realize how much Spider-Man meant to me. Uh, like, when I was watching that movie and like the stuff that happened to, oh man, like this, I was just bawling. Like you saw my eyes at the when the credits rolled. I was like, and you were like, dude, are you okay? I'm like, bro, it was so good. But anyways,
Yeah.
where is your
Anyway,
second?
my number 2, Vivi, Final Fantasy 9.
Mm.
So I think Vivi is the best written Final Fantasy character. Also has the best story, simply because dealing with a lot of existentialism about what does it mean to be alive, what does it mean to survive, am I alive, am I a real person? A lot of like me playing this game at 12 years old, I was just like what is this? Like it was. I think Vivi was my first introduction to like existentialism. Just kind of seeing him, knowing that like his mortality, coming to grips with it, and not being a regular human being, being a black mage, and what that means to his life. Um, but I think that he has the best character arc in every Final Fantasy because by the end of it, he does kind of step up and does become a hero in spite of basically who he is and what his existence means. And I absolutely love him. He's my favorite Final Fantasy character. But yeah, that's my number 2.
All right, and my number one favorite hero in media could be a little controversial, but I'm gonna stick by it, and that is going to be Anakin Skywalker, the man, the myth, the legend. Without him, we wouldn't have the Star Wars that we know and love today. Because yeah, and back in his day before he turned evil, yeah, I know he became a villain, but Anakin as a villain only was a thing for like a day. And but yeah, but when he was a hero, he was the best pilot in the galaxy and the most powerful Jedi, or like yeah, up and coming. And yeah, Anakin Skywalker, and also
you mean
wait,
the child murderer?
that was like the last like 12 hours of him being Anakin, but he redeemed himself in a way because he actually saved the entire galaxy by getting rid of Emperor Palpatine, because Luke Skywalker wasn't going to do it. All he did was like, hey, Dad, I'm getting my ass kicked. And he wasn't Darth Vader anymore. He became, well, I guess he became Anakin in a helmet. And like, you know what? I'm going to save the galaxy, and then threw the Emperor down that long shaft. Darth Vader is Mikey's favorite hero of all time.
Master Skywalker, what are we gonna do?
But yeah, so he is my favorite hero of all time, and yeah, especially in the Clone Wars, his accomplishments and achievements that he's done in the Clone Wars were extraordinary, and he is worthy of his praise. I never bought Vader's whole redemption thing. Okay, and so so that's my number one favorite hero in media. So what is yours, Gio?
I mean, do you have to ask? You know who it is. You know who it is.
Snorlax.
You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Kirby. He's the strongest. He's the strongest hero in all media. He's a literal chaos god. He is for sure. These you can't destroy Kirby, and he's adorable. He's a little baby. He saves the world. You know, this is what I like about Kirby, right? He's very simple character. Like, someone steals his ice cream, some villain comes and steals his watermelon, and he goes and messes them up. Like, Kirby, he does heroic things, sometimes out of a sense to do what he does, but also because someone like slapped down his ice cream, and he does it for petty reasons, which I respect. And he's also incredibly powerful, and sometimes he just wants to nap. I feel like Kirby can beat Snorlax. Kirby can throw a giant monster across the sun on a huge frying pan. He's the strongest. He's the best. I think there's no competition. Kirby can beat Superman and Goku in a fight combined. There's no doubt about it.
What about Perfect Cell?
He's the best. Kirby can beat anyone. Gio likes Kirby because they're both petty as fuck. That's very true. It is very true. We stand a petty king. We stand he's basically a petty child, which is like what I am. So I respect Kirby.
You can't beat Captain Falcon though.
He could beat the hell out of Superman. You kidding me? He will eat heat vision for breakfast. Like, Kirby can't be beat. He can't be beat. Kirby could swallow a piece of kryptonite and Superman wouldn't even be able to come near him. He will uppercutter the hell out of Superman and Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon's a race car driver. What do you think is going to happen? Get out of here. Get out of here. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that is our favorite heroes in media, and I was like, I think mine is a better list. So, anyways.
Okay, whatever.
But since we are being hostile towards each other, let's keep that vibe going in our 1v1 showdown debate, which is going to be about content creators. Didn't Zero beat Kirby? Said Zombie Bait. Is that true?
No, but Kirby ended up beating him. Like, haven't you played the end of the game? And he also beat Zero too. So, meh.
Well, all right then. So here's our 1v1 showdown, and our question, or debate question of the day is: will content creators ever take over Hollywood? What do you think, Gio?
I think yeah.
Why is that?
And I base this mostly off of personal experience, right? So, as some of you know, I work with teenagers, and teenagers I often bring out movies and, like, just have you watched this show? Have you watched this movie? And most of the time they just look at me like, whatever. Like, but like, you talk about like their TikTokers, their YouTubers, and that's what they know. I think that we are moving into a content creator economy to where pretty soon they will overtake Hollywood, because that's what pretty much the younger generation is moving towards, right? Their kids aren't talking about actors. They're not talking about your Michael B. Jordans. They're not talking about your Bella Thornes. They're not talking about this person. They're talking about the Nelk Boys. And they're talking about all these other content creators, Mr. Beast. That's who the generation, the younger generation, is looking to. And even though we don't get it, right? That's exactly what they're watching. That's what they're spending their time on. And I think for them, it's because of just lack or easier access to where they could see one of they could see these content creators anytime on their phones. And not only that, but for a content creator to put out a video would take way less time than a Hollywood production of a movie or a TV show. I think we are moving in the future to where this generation will grow up, and that's going to be the entertainment.
I agree with
What do
you
you
to a
think?
certain point, but I don't think content creators are going to take over Hollywood because, for example, one of my favorite movies of last year, it was Free Guy, and it had content creators in that movie, and yeah, I don't think the majority of audiences that aren't kids knew who they were. Maybe Ninja, but that's about it. And I don't think these content creators are going to translate over from their platforms, like from YouTube, TikTok, or whatever. Like they might have like a little like a little role, like internet role on for some other companies, but in Hollywood, no, I think they're gonna stick to their medium, which is their platforms or like just staying on the internet. I don't think they will cross over eventually, because like, and kids today, they're always on their their mobile devices, technology and stuff, and content creators, they constantly deliver every week, every day, and yeah, and with Hollywood productions, that takes months, if not years, to get the ball rolling and the final product to come out. And then, so I think content creators in this day and age, they want to have that fast, like a turnaround on that reciprocation of like attention and all that stuff. And yeah, I don't see them going Hollywood route unless like they get like gazillion dollar, like big contracts to appear in those
But I
movies
think
like
that
Free Guy.
I think that's one of the points, though, to where I think Hollywood production corporations are going to see, why are we going to pay millions, hundreds of millions of dollars for this actor when we can pay this content creator a lot less money to pretty much produce something that's going to get just as much, or if not more views and more hits. I think that just corporations, production studios, Hollywood, any like business, they work on this calculus to where they will take what will give them the most views for the least amount of money. And I think content creators is what's going to drive that.
But I don't see content creators like Mr. Beast uh, shifting away from what he does, because like he is a very very active YouTuber and very popular and very successful, and I don't think he'll stray away from like if it broke, don't fix it. And
But even like not even someone like Mr. Beast, but like some up and comer content creator who does isn't as settled, they're gonna take that Hollywood check in a heartbeat.
uh, there will be checks, but the impact on the Hollywood industry as a whole, I don't think it'd be very very minimal.
I mean, we live in we're growing up in the ADHD era to where people's attention spans, generation by generation, is just getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see just like content creators, smaller productions, faster videos just be all the rage and overtake movies. Because even now, like the Batman, even though
Mhm.
it sold a lot, like don't get me wrong, but the most common complaint is it's 3 hours long because people have such short attention spans. Like most of my students haven't seen that movie yet because they're like it's too long.
I don't think they will watch a 3 hour movie with the one content creator when they could just tune in on the following Monday, just watch them stream.
But
On
what I'm saying is that that's what's going to happen. These Hollywood in the future is going to cut these creators like the fat checks. I mean, look at you bring up Mr. Beast, right?
Mhm.
The we talked about this a while ago on the show. The Squid Game video he put out got more views than the actual like Squid Game official video on the Netflix YouTube channel. People are tuning into these like content creators videos more than the actual like Netflix production. It's crazy.
Well, a part of why he got so many views because it's like if you watch, like, and subscribe, you'll be like entered to be like selected to win like $1,000, something like that, right? And then so like I don't see Hollywood studios or like production being as philanthropic as content creators today, like getting the viewers in that way, and like because like corporations like EA, they want the money to themselves, but content creators, I think they're gonna look after themselves first, and most of the money they want the most of the cut of the money because it's their work, their effort. So I don't know, I can't see content creators partnering up with these big production companies and sharing a piece of the pie that they have
I
influence over.
mean, I think these production companies will do that if it costs them less money in the long run. Like if you think about it, right? If you could say, okay, we can pay Tom Cruise, I don't know, $50 million for this, or we could pay this one content creator $1 million and then give out 100 grand in money to random strangers, and we will still end up so many more millions of dollars on top. I mean, I think the era of the actor is over to where people don't watch a film based on a name anymore. I think that's done,
I don't know
right?
about that because the actors in all the Marvel movies they have way more followers than these content creators, and
But it's because of the brand, and it's because of the character, not because of them as an actor. Who would Chris Hemsworth be without being Thor? He's been a couple other movies. Not many of them have been as successful.
but after the first Thor, everyone's like, "Oh, dang, yeah, no one can play Thor except for Chris Hemsworth," and he's been successful in his other movies, and because of his success on Thor and his popularity as Chris Hemsworth, he now has like a workout program that he's been like shilling in, like, and yeah, bec-
I mean, look at the Men in Black movie he was in. That was a flop.
okay, that's true.
I mean, let's bring up his movies. All right, Chris Hemsworth.
Star
'Cause what
Trek.
else
He
has he
played
been in?
Kirk's father in the opening scene. That's the first time
Oh yeah,
I
he
saw
was
it.
in.
Oh, and
Let's
I
see.
don't think they're making a spinoff where he's gonna play that same character.
Okay, so Chris Hemsworth. Let's look at his movies. Spiderhead. Never heard of it. Extraction.
Heard of it?
Meh. Jay and Silent Reboot. Really kind of a flop. Men in Black. Kind of a flop. Bad Times at El Royale. I haven't seen that movie. Um, 12 Strong. Haven't heard of it. He was in that Ghostbusters remake. That was for sure a flop. The Huntsman's Winter's War. That was a flop. He was in The Heart of the Sea. Never heard of it. Black Hat. I heard of it. Didn't watch it. Like, who is Chris Hemsworth without Thor? He's not a great actor. He does great as Thor, but it's almost the role gave him his career, not the other way around.
And I think because of that role, people will always know or follow his stuff, even though they are not good. Because I'm looking at Chris Hemsworth's Instagram right now. He has 53.9 million followers compared to Pokimane, one of the top streamers in the streaming industry, content creators. It's only 6 million. And let me find Mr. Beast. How many followers does he have? 17.9 million. So Chris Hemsworth has 3 times the followers and one could say influence than Mr. Beast. And so I think Hollywood star power is still going to be a thing in future generations, and I think these content creators are just going to be relegated to like maybe like the online only ecosphere. Like
Well,
yeah,
we'll see, man. As our generation starts to get older and the younger generation it gets more and more ADHD, we'll see where things go.
all right. Well, that I don't have anything else to add to my take. Do you?
No, not really.
Yeah, because like, so what do you guys think? Do you think content creators will ever take over Hollywood? My name is Raul. Says content won't ever take over Hollywood because they won't need to. Content creators aren't great
Content
actors, so it would become a PR stunt. It gained the attention of a younger people, but then they would just want the content creator to go back to making videos. I can't see it happening, says BTG. Yes, I agree. And also, there's a streamer awards like a while ago, and they were conducting interviews, and like these streamers, are very socially awkward a little bit, and that indeed
Oh,
they excel in their own environment, which is like their own like streaming thing, and like that's what people tune into. Like I don't
yo,
see people
yo,
tuning
y'all
in.
don't see how the kids react to content creators like I do. I'm telling you, I believe the children are not the future, and this is the future we're headed to.
I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, so that is our 1v1 showdown debate, our last one actually, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. So that is pretty much does it for my last episode of the 1v1 show. Stick around for the post show where I'll talk about a time, and then we'll also um I'll also talk about the Halo episode that came out this week, and also Atlanta, and amongst other things. So hold on, let's find my goodbye spiel for the last time. So if you guys like what we do here, give Gio a follow on his socials now that he will take control over on Instagram, Twitter, and you can support Gio on Patreon where he has 3 tiers, and $3 will get you that roll credit at the end of every episode. Actually, I don't know. You might have to change up these
Probably
tier
'cause I don't
rewards
know how to
because
do that.
yeah, I was like actually I just thought about that. So never mind. I mean, still subscribe to the Patreon if you want to support Gio's future efforts and stuff, and he'll decide what the rewards are. But the best way to support the show, now his show, will be participating in the chat like you guys have been. BTC Play, my name is Erlen Zombie Bay, and Buzzkill Lightyear. Shout out to you guys. And there's also, yeah, you'll also do the audio podcast stuff, which I have been slacking on, I'll admit, and I'll work on that too. And yeah, so I guess this is my farewell to the 1v1 show, and thank you guys for hanging out with in the chat, hanging out with us, being participating in our discussions, and I had fun. It's been a good year and 2 months because we started in January, and I ain't giving you a shit.
You already don't, ho. Get out of here.
But yeah, so with that said, see you guys. Stay tuned for the post show, and we'll talk about more stuff. And yeah, I am Hyphy Soul, aka Mikey, signing off. And this is
Yo, boy, Geo Huey Flow.
and stay tuned for the post show. And if not, we'll see you guys. I'll see you guys around, and I'll let you guys know. Oh wait, yeah, I'll talk about it in the post show. All right, then, y'all. You guys have a good one, and catch you later.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, give us like 5 minutes.
BRB.
It's actually gonna be 8 minutes, everyone, because people have to go to the bathroom. Oh, hey. Yeah, I think Geo is still feeding the toilet or something. But I'll just explain why I this is my last show. So the reason why it's my last show is because been probably doing it for a while now, and like it's, so all right. So every week, I I'd say I put about maybe at least minimum 6 hours in like just preparing and also conducting the show. And every Friday, it takes at least 2 to 3 hours to get all these graphics on the show. And so I'd always schedule my Friday, like doing all these graphics, all the pictures and stuff, like and all that, and then writing all the headlines and then all that stuff. Let's see, and then yeah, like this stuff too. Like it's actually a lot of work. And yeah, I would schedule my Friday just around those 2 to 3 hours. And yeah, now that I'm back like in school and like just doing lots of work, it was starting to like pile up on my workload. Oh, hey, Gio's back.
I'm back. What's up?
And yeah, so and I also want to like pursue like other like creative things like this. Here, I'll announce it here. I'm planning on starting a YouTube Star Wars channel where I cover all of these Star Wars books, and I have a lot more. Like anyone who knows me knows that I'm a big Star Wars fan, and you know some people collect Funkos, some people collect lightsabers, some people you know like this memorabilia. But I hold on, I need to fix this. I'm collecting every single piece of Star Wars canon lore. So like I pretty much have the entire Star Wars universe in print. Like here, let me just get some of my comics.
All right. Well, Mikey's getting his comics. I just got back, so I don't know what he was talking about.
Like
But
this week.
oh,
Here's my every week. Some fucking loser collects Nendoroids. I know, right? $200 each too, or like at least 100. So
shut up. My name is Earl.
every week I go to my local comic book shop and I buy every. Hold on, let me just show this off. I buy every single issue of every Star Wars comic. I don't buy the omnibuses. Like I have every single one, and yeah, and oh wait, not Blade Runner. That's purely for me. And then yeah, what is this? Crimson Reign, starring Kira, Daenerys Targaryen. You know, you guys might know her. The High Republic, which I'm very very excited for, because that they're gonna turn that into live action eventually, and then obviously the ongoing Star Wars comics, like just the main Star Wars line, and yeah, and I literally have over. Let's see, I don't even know how many individual comics issues I have, but it's over. Has to be like over 1,000 now, and I even have. Hold on. Like if it's lore, if it's Star Wars lore, I'm buying it. Such as this children's book. Ellie and Me is canon.
Is it?
Yeah, it actually is. What else? What else? Hold on. I even have a bunch of like I have all the reference books because in some of the reference books, oh wait, let me bring you back. In some of the reference books, it adds some like detail that wasn't said in any of the novels, and I was like, okay, that's a new piece of lore. I'm buying it, and so yeah, that's what I've been collecting, and yeah, and the crazy thing is, I haven't read any of them yet, and I'm going to do that by reading them all of them in chronological order, and like literally, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. But like if it, so in a way, I'm going to be following, like just the whole story chronologically, basically following the Force, and I'm going to call my YouTube channel the Chronological Force, because you know how there's in the world of Star Wars, there's the living Force and the spiritual Force, and I was like, you know what, let's follow the Force, and I'll be follow the Force chronologically, and yeah, so that's how I'm going to be doing that YouTube channel. Hopefully, I guess I need to work on some like visual graphics stuff, like kinetic topography and stuff, like yeah, so motion graphics, that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, I'm going to be working on that, learning how to do that, and over the next month or so, and hopefully I'll premiere, like I'll start my series on May 4th. So yeah, that's why another reason why I'm departing from the show, so I can put all my creative efforts into doing that. And
So what are you gonna do if you're going through your kind of chronological force, your YouTube video, and a new piece of content that precedes where you are in the chronology? Are you going to go back to where that is, or are you gonna
yeah,
just
like,
keep going and then go
and
back eventually?
good question. So this is a very very ambitious project that I'm trying to do because so how I'm gonna do it. Each Star Wars story is gonna be. I'm gonna try to make it a daily like show, like Monday through Friday, and so like this right here, I'll go in depth on each of these. So this Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and I counted like okay, how many like individual issues? Well, like how much content will that give me? And I counted all of them individually, and if I were to do an episode Monday through Friday, because like these only takes like 20 minutes to read, and I can just talk about all the content in there, and that'll be like a good like what 3 to 5 minute video. And if I were to do that per issue, uh, Monday to Friday, that would give me at least minimum of 4 years of content.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I were to
It'll
release it
probably-
Monday to Friday, and I'm assuming I'll probably miss some days because even like one day, like no, these books, like I'm gonna cover all these like one day, like these one episode. All right, what is this one? These are all gonna be individual episodes, even though I'm gonna read it all of them at once. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what I've been planning. I've been actually been talking about this for like over 2 years, right? Like when did I first mention this to you, Gio?
Like 2 years ago.
Or yeah, like while we were at our working together at our last job, and I was like, "Yo, I have an idea," and I was like, "Cause like I've been collecting Star Wars lore without reading them," and then I was like, "You know what? Now I think it'd be a good idea to consume all of these for the first time in chronological order," and so yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing.
And then if you do that, I mean, you'll also get like fresh like reactions and takes, and
Hmm.
people like that. Like people like seeing people's like, even if they already know the content. Like
Hmm.
to bring this to another like YouTuber, there's a YouTuber who does like literature, but she is more about novels, and it's a whole different perspective. And she's reading One Piece for the first time, and people like seeing like people their reactions to stuff like when they first read it for the first time, because then people get to see kind of like almost like the journey of someone reading something.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing, and like, and yeah, one may ask like, there's a bunch of Star Wars YouTubers out there. What makes me any different? Well, like it's me. It's like I won't know anything about the books. My only connection, like my knowledge of the Star Wars universe, is from the live action movies and the TV shows. And I've only read like maybe 4 books out of the I don't even know how many 80 books that I have now. Like amassed over since 2015. Like I started my collection after Disney bought Lucasfilm, and then they said they're going to rewrite the canon. I was like, oh, because I've always been intimidated by the Star Wars expanded universe, and because like, dang, I missed out on all those books, and then I had to go find them and like scavenge for them and like catch up on with like the lore, like the Thrawn trilogy. But they brought him back with the same writer too, and yeah. So once they restarted the canon, I was like, you know what? I'll start from the ground up, and I went and I bought the first ever since January 2015. I've been collecting Star Wars lore weekly, and
that one's
it's cheaper than
Disney
toys
did
and
all-
lightsabers.
is that when Disney did the whole like rewrite?
Yeah. So I pretty much
Okay.
have the entire Disney Star Wars canon. And yeah. But anyways, so and last thing about that is yeah, I've had this okay whole storyboarded out like for like 2 years. So like this is gonna be my template. I don't know if you can really see that, but that's how I'm gonna be doing the show. And, like I have it all mapped out in my head. I just have to execute the ideas. But anyways, so let's talk about my time on the show. It was fun. Like I enjoyed doing it, and especially during the time in the pandemic, it gave us something to look forward to since we were at the time it was like early January 2021 and 20 launched, like, and we were still like somewhat in quarantine a little bit, and yeah, it was fun. And yeah,
It's been great having you, man. Especially kind of your technical know-how would definitely, I don't know how to do half the shit that you do. I'm gonna, still try to produce the best show that I can, and I'm gonna have to. I'll probably be asking you a bunch of fucking questions. Because how the fuck do I do this? How do I do that? But yeah, man, we're gonna miss you on the show. And I don't know why I'm saying we
I know,
because it's
yeah,
just us,
just you.
but it's just me. But I am gonna miss you on the show, dog. It's gonna be a whole different vibe. I mean, we have Wyatt coming in to kind of co-host with me. We're gonna brainstorm some stuff, and but we're gonna miss kind of your biting sarcasm and your technical know-how and your perspective, especially on shit like Star Wars, which, quite frankly, I don't know much about.
Buy a damn gaming computer now, Huey. Right? He said he's been talking about that for like a year.
Yeah, but see the way that the bank. Well, actually, meh. If
Yeah,
I get
but
this
I
new,
gotta go to Vegas though. At the time.
man, honestly, like the money I spent in Vegas, I could have bought like a new
a
gaming
nice
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. Vegas was fun.
And also like the live production aspect, like that was very new to me, and like just being like getting in the rhythm of things. Like as you can see, even a year and 2 months later, like I still like mess up on stuff, and because like live production is really hard. Like I actually have a lot of respect for content creators these days. Like before, like content creators, all they do is turn on the camera and just like act all like be hella extra in front of the camera. But
No,
that's just one aspect of a content creator. Before they made it big, content creators are editors, storytellers, and media, like very media well trained, like in like, at the very fundamental, you know, uh, aspect of it. And yeah, like live production is really like hard and challenging, especially like just having constant transitions, alerts, and all that stuff. Like that was really intimidating for me when jumping in. But yeah, and I'm still like learning and getting used to it too. So like it was a fun exercise for me, like just messing around. I'm gonna miss Mike. I'm gonna miss you guys. And I'm not leaving the show forever. I'm most likely gonna be coming back as like a guest host, like in how we have been having rotating guest hosts every now and then.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be part of that lineup, most likely. Or actually, I don't even know. Well, we don't even know how the show is going to be like formatted after this. But
I don't even know.
yeah. But I'll be back.
I'll be back. Have you heard that stupid ass joke about Sylvester Stallone, where he's like, "I'm gonna make a movie about composers. I'll be Mozart," and then Val Kilmer's like, "Well then, I'll be Beethoven," and then Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, "Guys, I'm not gonna fucking say it." Get it?
Yeah, I'll be back.
I'll be Bach.
That's the first
Stupid.
one.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Anyway, the show, like I said, we're gonna take a 2-week break from here. Also because it coincides with my trip to whatchamacallit. My trip, I'm going to San Diego not next week, but the week after.
Mhm.
So I'm definitely not gonna do shit that week, but I'm gonna figure it out and try to get the show something that is different but also still entertaining. And hopefully, all our regulars stick around. Maybe we'll attract a couple more people. We'll see where the show goes. I mean, this is fun to do. And it's just, it sucks that you're not going to be here, Mikey, because, I wish you luck on your Star Wars thing, because that does seem like a lot of work and a very ambitious project. And it's a lot of lore. You're trying to basically be the crypt keeper of Star Wars lore. And that just seems like a shit ton of shit to memorize. But, I wish you luck. And you can do it.
Hit the Geo Wave at the Beast. 1v1 show is going to be about Persona only discussing how he tries to fight his own addiction of collecting figures, and also Nintendo. Oh yeah, GeoFlex. Yeah.
GeoFlex. I'm actually so I actually showed this to Mikey, but I have an extra room downstairs in my house that I'm gonna probably try to turn it into my streamer room. But
yeah. I'm gonna help Geo transport that room or convert that room into like a media room, because you see in my room, it's pretty much like a makeshift studio.
Yeah.
Like I went all out with it.
And then my room, we're gonna call it I'm gonna move all my figures in there, We're gonna call it the Kawaii Cove.
Uh,
That's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna have all these and all the other ones I have coming in there. It's gonna be lit.
yeah. And so back to like the 1v1 show, like the creation of it. Like I guess our my goal with this to be like pretty much like be like the ESPN, like a sports show type thing, but for gamers and pop culture. And yeah, like this stuff. Like I literally copied it from the ESPN show. You know how when you go to like a sports bar, they have all these things and all that stuff. And yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know, there hasn't been like a gamer like nerd version of that. And I was like, you know, let's do that. And
Yeah.
I think the format really worked. To be honest, like
Mhm.
I enjoyed the way it was, and then especially we had the 1v1 showdown because like you know had that like little that Skip Bayless type of segment.
Mhm.
And yeah, those are fun. Like the debates are fun, and also our guest hosts, like their takes on like certain things, really like widen my perspective on things. Like, with the Eternals, like I want to rewatch that with those perspectives in mind. But
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a great lineup of guest hosts.
mhm.
For example, like Wyatt coming in, we asked him because me and Wyatt have known each other for like wow, how long? Damn near 20 years, and
We
we
did.
have good chemistry. Angel came in and like you said, he was the only person that talked more than me on the show.
Yeah, last week's guest. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really I was surprised. Like, oh wow, he has more to say than Gio does. Surprising.
Who else? Ray came in and did a great job. Josh and Jen, Tokyo Sun. Um, is that everyone? Or am I missing?
I think. Oh, Nesto, obviously.
Oh, yeah, Nesto.
Wow.
Duh.
That's messed up.
My bad, Nesto. Because I hate you, you motherfucker. Ah. But yeah, Nesto also comes in, and when it comes to video games, I don't think anyone that I know is more knowledgeable on video games than that guy. He has some bad takes, but yeah, do a 1v1 with Lobo about what? About that? I'm not gonna say it in chat, but
I don't know why.
you don't. Let's not talk about. I don't want to put him on blast, but yeah. But yeah, it's been a fun ride, and where this iterates, we'll see where it goes.
Mm.
But
And,
yeah,
what would you say is your favorite episode?
my favorite episode.
Or favorite like main topic or whatever. I just thought of this. I don't even know myself.
Huh?
I don't know.
I think that's a good one. I do enjoy when the chat is combative against me, and I gotta prove them wrong.
Yeah.
I think the thing that kind of like the thing that triggered me the most when Jen was like, I don't really like Bunny Girl Senpai, and my mind was just like, what? Like my brain like broke, and I was like, how could you not? It's amazing. Ugh. But yeah.
Yeah, and I can't think of one right now.
I did enjoy our 3-hour Spider-Man talk. That was a lot.
Dude, yeah, that was probably you guys losing your shit over Spider-Man. Yeah, actually, that was probably. Dude, yeah, I was so hyped and ready to talk about that. Like, I broke that movie down, like, like just scene by scene, because yeah, that movie was an experience. Especially, that's probably one of the best movie experience I've had, because that was awesome. And it's crazy. Like, just apparently a lot of people are way more hyped for Doctor Strange 2 more than No Way
think
Home,
it's
but like I don't feel
because-
it though.
I think it's because of the multiverse that people got a taste of it with Spider-Man, and now they're just ready for the full-on like kicking the door down.
Yeah. And theory just on that movie, I think we are going to we're gonna possibly get introduced to X-Men, and during the new Spider-Man trilogy, they want X-Men. Yes, thank you. So do I. With the new Spider-Man trilogy, I think we're gonna get a crossover episode with Spider-Man and X-Men, like in the cartoon. And
Who's your
that'd be-
favorite X-Men, Mikey?
oh, my favorite X-Men is Gambit, and sucks for Channing Tatum that he's not playing. I mean, he really wanted to play it, but I did not agree with that casting. And but I'm looking forward to seeing that, like seeing the new iteration of X-Men. And I didn't really like the first class generation of X-Men either. Like the casting was I wouldn't say it's the best, except for Michael Fassbender as Frankenstein's monster.
I guess they call me Frankenstein's monster. I think the first class trilogy of movies is kind of all over. It was more than trilogy. The 4 movies, there's 4 of them. I think those movies were just kind of all over the place. They did some really good things and also a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
Except
so
for me,
I'm looking forward to a new iteration of X-Men. Probably
my favorite
comic accurate.
X-Men is Psylocke, but
Olivia Munn?
was not a fan of the Olivia Munn casting.
But you have an Olivia Munn poster.
I did. I took it down because
Why?
I grew up.
I grew up.
I took down all the 3D posters and put up all the 2D ones. That's why we were moving into a new space.
You probably move it into your streaming room.
Anyways. All
right. He's regressing. Whatchamacallit?
He's regressing.
Oh, so let's talk about 2 shows that premiered this week. I'll start with Halo, and then we'll talk about Atlanta, which is so triggering. Oh my god! I can't believe Atlanta. But let me start with Halo first.
I didn't watch Halo because honestly, I've never been into Halo, and the trailer for that just did not look good. And from what you've told me, you have some thoughts on that show.
Oh yeah. So so I watched Halo, and I've never played any Halo game. So like a campaign, I should say. I played like multiplayer, like at LAN parties back in the day, like during high school. After school, just go to a friend's house, play some Halo on their Xbox because I never had an Xbox. But so this was my first exposure to Halo lore, and it wasn't that great because I mean, the look of the armor, the look of the aliens, dope, amazing. But like the production, I don't know, like the world and the way it presented was really like it's a little bit too bright, and it felt like a Netflix like B tier show. I really liked it. Like I liked the concept in all the elements of the Halo universe, but like when he started talking, I was like, wait, I don't like the dialogue. And like in the first 15 minutes was dope, very very gory. They're like people are just being disintegrated, and like they have no problem like killing people of all ages. It was crazy, like even kids, and it was very like graphic. But in the opening scene, she's like, "Oh look, this flower, this fuels our ships, and it fuels our drugs." I'm like, why did she say that? That's literally what they came out there for. But I don't know, expositional dialogue, like that kind of style. I don't know. Felt very meh. But like I said, the elements of the Halo, that's what I didn't like weirdly enough. Interesting. But like all the elements of the Halo universe, very interesting, and like it's very intriguing because it ticks all my boxes, because I like the sci-fi like type of stuff. But yeah, and I'm gonna with spoilers for the first episode of Halo. A thing that I didn't like preface. I'm a massive Halo fan. I noticed that, and so what I'm gonna do with this Halo show is I'm gonna watch all of it, even though I didn't like the first episode. Because I'm assuming this show is going to be canceled after this season, and then if it does get canceled, then I'm gonna start playing. Go on Xbox. Wait, why are you typing? M3 mixtapes. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, I'm going to watch the entire first season. Oh, it's already renewed for second season? Okay. Dang. What the heck? Alright, well, I guess I'll be watching the first 2 seasons of Halo before I play the game. Because I want to do an experiment where I'm exposed to the show lore only. And then I'll get the Xbox Game Pass and then play the Master Chief Collection and then compare like the lore and see which one I like better. But I think it'd be interesting for me to like consume the show lore first, as that being my introduction to the Halo universe. So you're never going to watch this, I'm assuming, huh? because you never
No.
cared for Halo.
No, never gonna watch this. But
Yeah,
go on.
but you know, all right, spoilers for episode 1. Master Chief took off the mask. I'm like, what? And the moment didn't even feel that special, and whatever. And like, yeah, I don't know.
I looked at what he looks like. I just Googled it.
Yeah, it's
And
Porn
he just-
Stash. It's Porn Stash from Orange is the New Black. I was like, what the heck? That's Porn Stash.
He
And
looks
Porn
some
Stash was
white
like
guy.
an evil correctional officer of a woman's prison. And then like, I can't unsee him as like not Porn Stash from that show. And
Let me
I
see
feel like
what
I'm
he-
the only one that's probably seen Orange is the New Black in this,
No,
in the group that we have here.
it's funny.
Yeah, like he played like an asshole. He took off the mask already. Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute, that felt like it should be like a season finale type moment, but it happened in the first episode. Master Chief, these nuts, we elite out here. Covenant ain't got shit on me. Shut up, Huey.
Gang shit.
But yeah, so Halo. Wait, so BTG Play, you like the show, even though it diverged from the lore, and the show creators say they did not look at the game when creating the show. That's interesting because it seems like the main sentiment was like fans of the Halo franchise were did not like that, and also
Fake fan.
and also the scene where like the aliens like having like kind of like alien politics, and they had like a human person there. I was like, what? I don't know. It didn't. It made me feel like what's happening here, but whatever. Like I'm still gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with the show. So every week on my stream, I'm gonna be doing like commentary streams where I watch Jim while I stream myself, stream my reactions, and which is on my stream right now actually from like 2-3 days ago. If you guys wanna watch along with me, but yeah. So every Wednesday I'll be doing that along with Atlanta, which is a great transition to talk about Atlanta. So, dude, season 3 of Atlanta finally came out after what 3-4 years of hiatus, because Donald Glover is out there going on tour making Lion King. But yeah, and first episode premiered, and it was probably one of the most triggering things I've seen in a very, very long time.
So, for those of you who don't know, like the first episode of season 3 of Atlanta, you could go in and not have watched any of that show
Yeah.
at all, going blind.
It has nothing to do with the current characters of the current cast. Like it's a standalone episode.
And it's really good, and also really kind of like unsettling and terrifying, because you get basically this kid who is he's a good kid, but he also is very, he acts out. He got in trouble at school for jumping on a desk because he was excited about something. And what happens next is actually parallel to a real life story.
I didn't know this.
The Hart Massacre, the Rachel Hart Massacre, where you see kind of this, and this is spoilers for the first episode of Atlanta, but you see this, kind of well-meaning white guidance counselor call CPS because of just also a cultural misunderstanding of, how people raise their kids. And this boy is taken from his family to this white lesbian couple who raise their kids. And there is so much that is so like unsettling and passive aggressive, like comments and full on abuse, lack of food, forcing kids to do things. BDG places alien politics and military politics has always been a part of the Halo universe and lore. The games are more like power fantasies. I could go one, but hardcore Halo fans are okay with it being a separate timeline. People who just played the games will hate it. Okay, I'm done.
Oh yeah, and also I was
fan.
told to be I was told to like you should read the Halo books because there's a lot of interesting like cool stuff happening in those novels as well. But I probably won't read them, to be honest. I probably like read a wiki summary. But yeah, no. So that situation in Atlanta. Holy crap!
No, and my name is Earl says Atlanta is Black Twin Peaks. Yo, that and just kind of like how these women are raising these kids and the things that they sue. Like the kid's name is Laquarius, and the white woman's just like, I didn't know how to spell your name, so we're just gonna call you Larry. It's like, what?
I was like, oh my god, hell
And this
no,
is real shit. She tries to make fried chicken by dipping it in flour and putting it in the microwave.
dude. I was like, what? I was like, that's supposed to be a dinner, and it's only one chicken wing. It's a drumstick.
I kind of feel bad for one of the white women, Amber, because you can tell she's being also controlled by
Yeah,
the other one,
mhm.
Gail. I mean, definitely, she's definitely like being abused herself. You could kind of see that, but also like it's very unexcusable what she's doing. And like there's all these other kids there, and it's like there's a point where Laquarius like tells the other kids like these white women are gonna kill us, and then one is like, we know, and then the other kid's like, sweet release, like because they're being tortured. And in fact, the real life, like, Rachel Hart massacre, um there was a kid, one of the kids that she was taking care of, they were doing everything for the internet. Like they were holding up these woke signs, Black Lives Matter. There was a picture of this kid crying holding a police officer. And oh my god, like it's disturbing how accurate they got this, and kind of the reason why the kid went and hugged a police officer while he was crying. Like you never know if it was like in real life it was the woman that made her do it, or maybe the kid was actually trying to escape those two. Like it
Yeah,
is.
like this show is probably like the best social commentary going on in any media today, in my opinion. Like in regards to like entertainment.
And then do you have anything more to say about the first episode?
No,
Or
yeah,
should
let's
we?
go to the second episode, which is really really interesting. You want to start us like this? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, because they wake up, or Ernest wakes up, Donald Glover's character, and they're in Holland. Now, if what I remember correctly, at the end of season 2,
Yeah.
they're going to Europe, right, for a
Well,
tour.
hold on. Let's give a quick rundown of this. What is the show about for those who are
Uh,
not familiar with
so
Atlanta?
Atlanta is basically just kind of I guess it's about um, and what's his name, Paperboy. What's his real name?
I forget. Al.
Alfred?
Yeah.
Al? So it's Ern and Al, they're cousins. One's a rapper, the other one is his manager, and basically it's about them trying to, you know,
You know.
come
You
out
know.
in life. But also it just deals with a lot of social commentaries, weird things happening around them, whether it be social media, racism, things that, black people face in America, but also like weird things happen. It's it's very
Alf.
much Alf. Yeah, that's what. Um, but it's like biting satire, biting social commentary, and you have Darius there who just kind of weird things happen to him, and he's just kind of a free spirit type character there. But yeah, so they're at the end of season 2. I think they're going on their first European world tour,
Mm-hmm.
but I think season 3 is a time skip
Yeah.
because
Like
they
they've been touring for a
basically.
while.
Yeah, because he's like, oh yeah, no, we did a show like 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
this is like their second European tour.
Yeah. I think they're the time skip is going along with the hiatus of the show. That's my.
Yeah,
Mhm. And yeah, and I don't want to like, mild spoilers for episode 2, but Tupac is there,
yeah, and
and
they kill him.
and the way they treated Tupac, like his character in the show is like everyone just accepts that he's there. It was very.
So is it? We don't never ever see him, but like Darius is like, I think it's Tupac, and it's like one of those things where it's like, it's not Tupac, but then you're like,
You
is
see
it
the
Tupac?
nose piercing and stuff, and like, and
And
then
then
it looks like Tupac.
when he dies, Hail Mary starts playing.
Dude, yeah, yeah, it's
Oh
such a
boy.
great show. I highly recommend it. I didn't know it was a 1 hour premiere or like 2 hour premiere, like with 2 episodes. But yeah,
Yeah,
I watched that last night, and it was very
yeah.
good.
I watched
I
it this
highly
morning.
highly recommend Atlanta. I would say it's probably the best non-anime shows that is airing right now.
Yeah, and honestly, even if you've never watched Atlanta, that first episode, man, I'm like thinking about showing that in class.
Ooh,
The
that'd be
first
interesting. I want to
episode.
hear what your class
I'm
think about
I
that.
I want to. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll show the first episode, but it might scar some kids.
Probably.
You
But
know,
what?
one of my students.
It's better
Is
than
it
One
better
Piece
than One
though.
Piece?
Yes,
We said
easily.
non-anime. Non-anime. All right, BTG play. Get out of here. Also, I don't watch the One Piece anime. I read the manga because it's the purest art form. We get exactly what Ichiro Oda, who is the greatest author of all time, wants us to see. So, shut up.
But yeah,
Anyways,
yeah. So Atlanta, I highly recommend it if you're into in my opinion, good, great filmmaking in television. Like I would put it like that level of filmmaking, like with writing, I would put it on the not the same tier as Breaking Bad, but like it's on that side of the spectrum.
yeah. Also, the thing about the second episode that we haven't gone over yet is like it kind of just shows you that like racism, either subtle or overt, is everywhere, not just in the United
Yeah,
States. Like they're dealing with it in Europe.
yeah. Like the entire show has great social commentary. Like it makes you think about
I will
things.
destroy you. Oh, okay. When the Dutch dude at the
Oh,
end.
dude! And he started beating up some dude, literally wearing blackface, and he thought he was
An
Ern,
actual
who was
black person.
yeah. I was like,
Why
um,
are
like
you
I was
making me
appalled
do
by
this?
the first episode and like stuff in the second episode. I was like, oh my god,
Oh
this
my
is
god,
this is
yeah.
messed up. But yeah, I highly recommend everyone to watch Atlanta if you guys are into those kind of shows. Because yeah, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Like there'll be some what the fuck episodes, some like uh episodes where like you think nothing really happens, but like I would put it on the same tier as the Fly episode in Breaking Bad, where like it's a character study.
The Teddy Perkins episode is still some of the best TV I've ever watched.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
so those are our thoughts on or my thoughts on Halo and our thoughts on Atlanta. I highly recommend it. And yeah, if you guys watch Halo with me every Wednesday when it premieres, and I think there's gonna be a thing for the next 2 months.
For sure. Benny, I want to rewatch Atlanta like the whole thing because it's so good.
Hmm.
'Cause I forgot how good that show was.
Yeah, I remember all those episodes like I just watched them like last month because like they leave an impression on me.
I remember the episode with Van, where she's the one where she's trying to get a picture with Drake, and just kind of I think I watched that during a time period where I've started becoming disillusioned with like going out and going to clubs and just kind of social settings, and this is when I was like been slowing down on my drinking and just kind of like it's all bullshit. It really is.
Hmm.
So good. So good.
Yep, Atlanta highly recommended by both of us, and yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways, what else? I think that's. Mm. And where are you planning on? You have future trips lined up, huh? Where are you going? Like you said, San Diego, and where else?
San Diego. Going to Anime Expo in July.
Oh, that's in Anaheim. Wait, where's that?
No, Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Wait, where in
You
LA?
want to go, Mikey? The only thing is, I'm not gonna be. So I actually have summer school the first day that is. So I'm gonna fly out there, and then I'm gonna ride back with some friends. But if you want to go, the invite's there.
Possibly. Hold on. Let me just look that up right now.
I think it's the 1st of July or the 31st of June, either or.
Anime Expo. Hold on. Let me show chat
It's
what
the
I'm
big
looking
one.
at.
Yeah, the first.
Where is it? Where is it? Boom. Bada bing. Whoops. Wait, why is it like this?
Why is it like this?
Let's make that bigger. See, live production is challenging. Live broadcasting, I mean. Let's see. Anime Expo 2020. Why does it look like this? I can't even read that. Tickets are on sale right now. Right here.
Yep.
Let's see. How much are tickets?
They're like 100 and something.
Oh, 140 for all 4 days. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
July. Oh wait, no. I'm probably gonna have to decline because I'm waiting for Star Wars Celebration. They just announced guest this week. The voice actress of Ahsoka is gonna be there. Emperor Palpatine's gonna be there. C-3PO, as always, is gonna be there, and I'm gonna try to take pictures with them. And also, since it's happening in May, which is the same month that Obi-Wan is premiering, hopefully Anakin and Ewan McGregor will be there. I don't know why I refer to Anakin as his character name instead of Hayden Christensen, but yeah, exciting. Hopefully they are there. I'm gonna buy so much merch, and yeah, I'll probably be streaming like how I did at the Level Up Expo, I think. And yeah, I'm gonna be cosplaying. I'm going all 4 days, and I'll be cosplaying on each day. And one of them is gonna be Daft Punk, because Daft Punk is kind of canon in the Star Wars universe because they appeared in an Adidas commercial, Star Wars Adidas commercial. And yeah.
Okay.
And then
Anyways.
I'm gonna have the LED on my helmet. I'm gonna fix that LED text saying that I'm a droid.
I'm also gonna go to Arizona in August. I'm gonna go fight BTG Play. That's what's gonna happen.
What's happening in Arizona?
There's a convention that BTG Play. They're gonna host a panel, and I'm gonna go be there just to support the homies and just go out to another state that I've never been to. So
Nice. Yeah, like I think my the things I have. I'm not trying to have like too many events lined up right now. Just that Star Wars Celebration trip. It's gonna be a 5-6 day trip, I think, for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to Disneyland as well. It's like literally like down the street. And then Infinity Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars land, for the first time ever. Probably gonna cry when I get there. And after that, I got a concert over the weekend because like I just became a fan of the weekend just like last year. And so I'm trying to see him. And then yeah. And hopefully I was reading about Japan and about their travel thing. Like when are they gonna let people like us? When are they gonna let Geo the weebs come in? And they said 85% likely in September. So hopefully around Christmas time, it'll be 100%, and they'll open up. And I might spend my Christmas and New Year's there with because I got family over there.
that's because I think for me, I won't be able to do that because I'll have work. Like if they're not gonna open in summer, I gotta push back my trip till 2023, which makes me very sad.
Yeah, because they just started opening up regions for Japanese residents who are already living in Japan. Like, hey, you guys can now go to these areas, like other areas of Japan. And I was like, dang, like there's even like Japan's really strict. They're probably the most. I think they have the strictest protocols, COVID protocols.
Well, they probably would be open by now if it wasn't for them choosing the Olympics over their own people. But whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. So that which caused a slight surge, right? Didn't it? I don't know.
What?
It caused a slight surge uptick in the cases or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they locked that down, and then looks like everything, like the trend of people getting like affected, is going down, and hopefully, a Japanese travel blogger I looked up on. I was reading up on this last week. He's like, yeah, the chances of Japan reopening is probably around 60. So right now it's 30% right now if it were to open up next month, and then September 85% likely, and hopefully maybe Christmas, New Year's. If things, the trends they keep going the way they are, they'll open up there, and around Christmas time. And yeah, wait. So how long's the break between your New Year winter break?
2 weeks.
Oh dang, yeah, never mind. And you're trying to spend a month.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could go for like a week, and then just kind of have like a preview, and then go back this summer.
Yeah, like I want to. Well, I won't be going during cherry blossom season because that's right now, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want to go to Kyoto, see all those shrines and all that stuff. Go to that muscle bar. That looks pretty cool. And just explore like just the culture and all the cool
Yes.
stuff in Japan.
I'm also going for culture.
Oh yeah, yeah. This guy,
Yeah.
like he's your typical weeb going to Japan. Yeah, you should bring
So,
that water bottle and drink that out in public. Like, hey, you guys got more of these stickers?
I also got one of my friend. She's a Instagram model. Shout out to Loveliness. Got her sticker on my water bottle. That's why I don't bring this to school.
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I guess I don't really have much. I can't think of anything else to talk about. Do you? Because like I talked about my time on the 1v1 show, memories and good stuff, fun times. We talked about Halo, Atlanta, and our future adventures lining up
Yep.
for each of us.
And your new channel
Yeah.
that's gonna be popping off.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, I want to premiere that on May 4th. Hopefully, and
May the 4th be with
yeah.
you.
So yeah, that's gonna be what I'm be focusing on in the next month or so. And yeah. So
Well then, should we just wrap it up here?
yeah, and all right. So this is us 1v1 show.
Your boy
Mikey and
your boy Geo Huey Flow.
hold on. Thank you guys. Like I know I had soundboards, but I've never really like implemented them during the show. Let me just show you guys what I had. I should have been using them. And, you heard this when Gio entered the room. And then, but every time Gio has an opinion.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Fuck you.
And is DC better? Exactly. And oh wait, and yeah, this is gonna be my last episode, guys. Sorry. I know. And then but yeah, and I always have some clever jokes, like hey, one of my favorite jokes. What does two drums? What happens? Fuck, well, I'm messing up the joke. Two drums and a cymbal fall off a cliff. Oh wait, that's not it. Oh, nope. That's not it. Whoops, I messed up. That's just an angry crowd.
I hate you.
And
Anyways.
what? You said something? Anyways, yeah. Thank you for all the laughs and all interactivity in the chat, and it was fun. I had a great time on the 1v1 show. I'll be back on the show as a guest in the future, and yeah, like Gio said, you'll see you guys in wait, not 2 weeks, 3 weeks, huh?
Maybe yeah, it'd basically be 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, so there'll be a 3-week hiatus for the 1v1 show, and then when it comes back, it'll be brand new and Geo control and Geo hosted, and yeah, along with him and Wyatt. So stay tuned, or look forward to that in the future. In about 3 weeks, Mikey. Thank you, and look out for my Star Wars YouTube channel if you guys are into that stuff. Cause I'm such a huge nerd, and yeah, probably stop by in the show, talk about that, and yeah. I don't know what else to say. I don't have a farewell speech to say other than thank you guys.
I'll ask you to come on whenever some big Star Wars shit happens, because like I said, I don't know shit about Star Wars, so I'll just defer to the expert.
So all right, yeah. So thank you to everyone who's participated in the chat over the last year, and everyone who followed, everyone who's tunes in every week. Shout out to you guys. I really appreciate it. Makes my efforts seem worth it, and it's fun when it's executed well, even though I have some mishaps here and there. But yeah, so starting off for real, off the 1v1 show, this is the last time you'll see this little graphics and layout. And yeah, be sure to follow Gio on the socials that he now controls, and the 1v1 show, and also his personal boom right there. You see that up there, Gio Huey Flow. And I'll be streaming. I stream. I don't really have a set schedule, but like I stream every week basically. I always stream myself playing PS5 games. I need to get back on PSVR games. I need to go through that backlog before PSVR 2 comes out. And I do commentary streams where I watch TV shows like Halo, and I will watch MMA events live. So like, yeah, and yeah, and in the future I'll be helping Gio with the stream setup, and so he'll be a fellow streamer as well. And yeah, so see you guys. Thank you for all the memories and interactivity and all that stuff again, like I said. And I will see you guys in the future as a guest. And yeah, I'm Mikey, aka Hyphy Soul, along with
Yo boy, Gio Huey Flow.
and signing off for the last time. See you guys.
Peace.